Hi, welcome back to Bridging the Gap. My name is David James.
Keisha James here again.
And we have Pastor Craig Mitchell here.
Hello, everyone.
Mm-hmm. And before we go any further, we would like to first let you know that Bridging the Gap is a local producer here with PAC 14. What we are doing here is linking with the community to make sure that information gets brought out to the community. We are not part of PAC 14, but we are a local producer that uses this platform to do so. So we do thank each and every one of you for listening, and welcome. Thank you again for joining us again.
Oh, man, it's so glad to be here again.
Yes. So what's going on with the prayer vigil?
So the prayer vigil, we're all ready to go. This Wednesday evening, we're going to be praying for our city, interceding for everyone within our city at 7 p.m. We're fulfilling the word. Jesus said, can you watch with me for 1 hour? And we're going to be out there.
And from what I understand, Miss Deal is going to be out there presenting some blessing bags?
Yes, Latoya Deal is our church director of outreach. And she just has a big heart, all around big heart. And she came up with the idea. She said, hey, let's do something for the homeless. So she's going to put together care packets that we're going to be able to distribute to the homeless. That is definitely overshadowing the downtown.
Oh, it's a lot of them. It's
right there, actually, right on the other side of the library.
Yeah, so, that is a need in the city.
Absolutely.
That's where it's at. And it's an area, an issue that's been ongoing for years and just been overlooked. Promises, but promises don't come through.
Right.
And so until we see things that were promised, such as, more spaces, buildings to accommodate, we got to do what we got to do.
Absolutely.
So we can't prolong them. So she's providing those care packets. I call them life packets, because it's everything that pertains to, to live. We're going to have them.
Awesome.
That's awesome.
Now, do you know about how many people are going to be coming to the prayer vigil?
I do not. The word has been spreading. In fact, I've been downtown paying some bills, and everybody say, I saw the flyer about the, the prayer
That's
at Unity
wonderful.
Square. So I don't know. Hopefully it's going to supersede the last time we all got together. Because one can chase 1,000, two can put 10,000 to flight. So the more, you put the devil on the run.
That's right.
I know there was a lot of things you had to go through to get this going. I mean, weren't able to get it for the price or lack of price it was for the first time, but we did get at least at half off, huh?
Oh, absolutely. It's no matter, whenever you have some vision that God gives you, be prepared to have some type of obstacle. But whether it's money, people, systems, patterns, whatever, if God gave you the vision, nothing can stop you from fulfilling that assignment. And so, that's especially as it relates to this particular vision. I just had that determination that nothing's going to stop me, not even $1.
That's right.
Because whatever you do for the kingdom of God, there's always going to be a return.
That's right.
Always.
As I say, my reward is in heaven, so nothing can compare to that.
That's right.
Awesome. So, look like it's going to be this Wednesday, correct?
It's going to be this Wednesday.
August 27th?
August 27th, downtown Salisbury, Unity Square. Asking everybody in the city, politicians, pastors, leaders, intercessors, whatever you do in the kingdom, come on out. Bike riders, I'm telling everybody to come out.
And they showed up last time.
They did. So every sororities, fraternities, everybody come. Let's bombard the city, because it's about being beyond the four walls of the church.
I love it.
And when you look at downtown Salisbury, it's where life is, parties, all types of attractions,
Yes.
renovations, buildings going up. That's where life is happening. And so God is not just in the four walls of the church. He's where life is, where we live, where we work, where we walk, all of those things. So I just know that this Wednesday, God's going to be there.
Yes, he is.
Awesome. Now, one last thing I want to ask is, will there be something out there that if the others want to get involved, because this won't be our last prayer vigil, is there a place that they can donate, that people can donate towards the next one, so you won't have to take the whole bill as far as being your church?
Of course. We'll have an attendant on site this Wednesday. You can make checks payable to Supernatural Faith Center. We're on Cash App, Craig Mitchell, Zelle. You have to have, you
got to have something
Zelle. And we're also on the Givelify app under Supernatural Favor. So those are our approved electronic giving methods to
right.
give. And if you have pennies, the coins, and things,
Right.
we'll have the big water jugs on site that you can just drop it in. But we praying that this is not the last vigil.
It won't be.
In fact, so I've already started working on a place to hold it inside.
Oh, wow.
Which is right down Salisbury.
Okay.
So I don't want to release where it is at yet. So until we get the details finalized, but we want to keep this going. Every once a month.
Once a month.
Going back to what we originally said in the
That was the goal at first.
And so we want to get back to that. And so, but I believe that God has showed a place for us to come and still right downtown Salisbury. So we'll see.
All right. Awesome. We're looking forward to it. My wife and I will be out there. Now, in a few moments, we're going to go into our next segment. I'm asking you to stick around because you're also a teacher.
Absolutely.
And also you got an ambition to next year possibly getting involved with, with leadership for the county. So I'm going to ask you to stick around. We're going to be interviewing Kenisha LaCole, who's going to be running for the Board of Education. You actually know her.
Oh, yeah. She's good. She's good people. We go back from high school. I've coached her son and all of that. Taught both of her sons. So we're looking forward to that conversation. Okay.
Awesome. Now, before we do that, we're going to be meeting with Bishop Anthony Dickerson from the Christian Shelter. Yeah. You both are involved with the community, and I think we might be working together as far as you talking with the homeless, because that's right up his alley.
Bishop Dickerson is an amazing man of God, and it's always a pleasure to be able to rub shoulders with him and have conversation with him, because he means business.
No, he does.
Whenever he has something on his heart, he's going to carry that out.
And it's kingdom business.
So, yeah, I love it.
All right. Stay tuned. We'll be back. All right, we're back, and we're with Bishop Anthony Dickerson from the Christian Shelter, and we also have Pastor Craig Mitchell back with us. Gentlemen, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having us.
Yes. Now, before we bring Kenisha in, I want to talk about what our youth are dealing with. I mean, you're a teacher, and you have to deal with kids that have to deal with pressure as they go in there. Can you tell us a little bit about some of the things that they deal with?
Sum up from the homeless point of view, as a homeless director, shelter director, I see a lot of kids bullying. They're being bullied. I see that all the time. We see children with depression, anxiety, and believe it or not, we deal with some children that have anxiety about being homeless because they're scared they're going to be teased, and because when children start teasing you, they have no filter.
Right, absolutely.
They don't have no sympathy whatsoever.
Wow.
So, and we try to protect the children from that. So if I find out that a children is being bullied, I'm finding out what school did that child go through, and then what plan or what course of action do the school have in place to accommodate this child.
Now, as far as thank you, when they get off from school and they come back to the shelter, do they talk about some of the pressures they deal with?
Oh, absolutely, because we have a children ministry, and our children ministry composed of we have a children teacher, we have a social worker, we have a teacher, and then we have a aide is like a college student and so forth, and they do a real good job really getting the problems. What problems are our children having? Because one of the young lady is a vice principal at a local school here.
Okay.
Not here in Wycomico County, but in Dorchester County.
Sure.
And also, she's a member of my church.
Wow.
So
There you go.
So she knows what to look for. She knows what to observe it. And since she started, we had to address some situations within the shelter. And with the team of us, we was able to resolve those issues.
Well, good. Now, on the positive light, you had a young man that graduated last year with. I'll let you tell him.
Yeah, a young man, and which I'm proud of. He graduated with honors.
And he was homeless.
Yep, he was homeless. He was homeless for about a year.
Wow.
And when we broadcast that, he was getting phone calls. Phone calls were coming, and he was able to buy a car, and he was able to, actually, the donations helped him be self-sufficient.
Yes, sir. Good stuff.
Absolutely. Yes,
Wow.
he's self-sufficient, and now his mother and father. It was like at the last minute they found the place.
So, wow. So being homeless did not negatively affect his grades. I mean, does it affect people's grades?
Well, here's what he told me. He says, I was homeless, but my mind wasn't.
That's deep right there. That's
wow.
And so that kind of blew me away when he made that statement. I said, okay, yeah, this guy's ready.
Now, what school was it?
Stephen Decatur.
Stephen Decatur.
Stephen
Okay.
Decatur.
Okay.
Yep.
And what school do you teach at?
I'm at Bennett Middle.
You're at Bennett Middle. What do you see? coming in as far as the kids from home.
So I just started year 17.
Thank you.
And I enjoy it. It's about making an impact. And in all the years that I've been a part of the school system, there's not been 1 year where there has been at least 1 to 3 cases where a student or students were homeless, or they were in transition. They didn't have a permanent place of residence. They had options, but not all the options were feasible for them. But I can say from my own eyes, it had led to a lot of behavior problems because it impacted them so much. What happened in their nightlife impacted them so much in their daytime that they had hygiene issues which had to be addressed, because that's what Bishop was saying about the bullying came in. And then the children certainly have no filter. I don't care what grade level it is. They begin to just taunt, and really to the point, go for blood, where they're causing the student in distress to cry and, walk out the classroom or leave the premise, which cause other safety concerns.
Wow.
And so a lot of times you have to be able to have the mindset and be able to discern what is the root cause of the issues. And when you get to that issue and say, hey, they're acting out, let's get rid of them, put them out of the building, put them in alternative school. No, they have legit life crisis where they're wearing the same clothes, drawing a stench, and they're being bullied. One hit after another, they emotionally has taken a toll on them. And so in all my years, there have been teachers, staff members that really cared about the student and gravitated.
Not all of them.
Not all of them, but I'm grateful. In my building, we have a handful that are able to say, oh no, we're not going to accept these disciplinary issues. We're going to make house visits. We're going to make phone calls. We're going to see what's going on. And the privileges that they've opened up, and we've been able to, say, hey, just come make it to school. we'll have clothes for you. We got your sizes. We've got a private
awesome.
we got a private gym where the shower is, and it's that building that level of relationship where we said, hey, what happens here is for your betterment. We're going to do what we have to do. And in the 17 years, we've seen amazing turnarounds.
Wow.
You know, just that. And so I can't say all the cases have ended up in good results, but I promise you about 85% of those cases in the 17 years that I've been in existence have had positive results.
Well, and thank you. My question is again, you being a minister, you show care, but are there cases where that care is not there for those kids, and then they end up just taking and bottling that up, and as Bishop was saying, you know, sometimes they take that home?
Oh, absolutely. Because a lot of times the children go to school because they know that they're going to get the needs provided for them.
Wow.
You know, that's just real talk. That's just how it is. I cannot be deceiving, you know. You know, they'll come because they know they're going to get meals provided. And once, you know, breakfast and lunch has gone, then it's on and popping after that, you know. But there have been a lot of cases that, you know, the care is not there, and they just write them off and just say, oh, you're just curse them. Basically what you're doing, say, oh, you're just another stereotype, you're not gonna make it. And I wish I could say that, you know, all those cases ended the way Bishop just, you know, talked to us about. But I believe that young man, amongst others, had solid people around,
including Bishop.
You know, and I can just honestly say, and I know for a fact that anybody that comes in contact with Bishop, the impact is going to be solid.
Too nice.
It's going to be positive.
Awesome.
You know, that's real.
You know, as a kid, I did my best to keep my mom away from PTA meetings because I didn't want her to know what was going on. But let me ask, in today's world, how many parents actually interact with the teachers at those meetings?
You know, as a teacher, I remember me growing up, my mom came to every PTA meeting.
Yes.
I would try to hide with it, but she found out anyway. But it's disheartening because you can have 1,000 students in the building, and I'm not exaggerating, you can probably have 20, 25 parents that come to a PTA meeting.
Wow.
And honestly, sometimes in some cases, you could barely make a phone call because they won't answer. You know, and so that, you know, that's real. So that's the disheartening part. Times have definitely changed. You know, and you know, just to add to that, that's another factor to the impact it has on the child, because someone that should be caring is nonchalant. Or they're not home.
Right, and specifically the father, because it's a known fact that when fathers get involved with their child's education, the behaviors will decrease. The skipping school will increase. Because I used to run a fatherhood program. And in Caroline County, I used to run the fatherhood program, and I used to, you know, work with fathers to support their children, to show up for the PTA meetings, to show up for different activities and so forth. And the father plays an important role into a child's life.
Absolutely.
So if a father is there, that child is going to escalate. And I have testimonies on record because I was working with this father. His son was getting in trouble, always getting suspended, always. I mean, he was just doing everything. But when his father got connected with him, his grades shot up. He made honor roll. I mean, phenomenal turnaround.
Wow.
So, you know, I think, you know, I think a lot of times I think it's important that we put emphasis on parents, specifically fathers, being involved with their children's education. And there are certain things that we can do. We can partner with the school to make sure that that happens. We just going to have to keep on chipping at the ice.
Absolutely.
Yeah, thank you. Now, how would you rate the work is being done as far as those that are elected to the education? In other words, how are they doing as far as going out there and mixing with and talking to teachers, talking to parents, talking to the shelter? Because it is important for them to know what's going on, not just be at board meetings.
Yeah. Elected official has to remember what they were elected to do. They were elected to be representatives of the people who voted them in the office. A lot of times that don't happen. They get elected to promote their own agenda. When they do that, then we have a problem. We have a problem. They have to do things what the voters elected them to do in the first place. And I believe a city, whether it be city or whether it be county, they need to have town meetings. What is it that you want me to voice? What is it that's on your heart?
That's good.
They should have ongoing town meeting on a regular basis. And I don't want to hear, I'm too busy. No, busy doing what?
You're right.
No,
you're right.
No, you were elected for the people, so you got to be there for the people. Just like when you go out and campaign. And well, vote for me, vote for me. You have to do that same thing. And you should be meeting with the districts. And I'm going to say that again. I'm going to say that on camera. You should be meeting with the district that you represent. Because a lot of times the district don't hear from you till the next election. And that's all I'm going to say.
That's 100% correct.
I like to piggyback off of that because me being also a vice president of our local teachers union chapter.
Yes.
I would say that in the past couple of years, there have been a handful of the elected officials didn't even have an inside scoop on what was actually happening in the system as it relates to the school systems. When we made known that, of the low test scores, when we made known of their underpaid staff members, it was just eyebrow raising, to them. And that would be my ask, don't settle for secondhand or what you think.
Yeah.
That's why he was saying you got to be out there. It's about visibility.
Yeah.
You got to be seen, know what's taking place, and know how to attack the issues. And just don't know what the issues are, but have a strategy on how you're going to approach each issue.
Yeah. And they have a song called Boots on the Ground.
Boots on the ground.
And so again, when you're elected official, you ought to put those boots on the ground.
That's right. That's it.
Wow. Thank you. I was talking to a school board member a couple of days ago, and they said that they have 2 meetings a month, and I think it was 4 hours per meeting. So they get information during those meetings. One's a work session, both of them are televised. Now, I know years past it was a little harder making the board meetings, but both of those meetings are televised. So there is information, and I like how you said that, you were elected, you were out there then. They should be going out and talking to the parents, not just at PTA meetings. Let me ask you, are the board members at PTA meetings?
I haven't seen them. I haven't seen any.
You haven't seen any of them?
No. I've seen the superintendent who would come in. He would come in the cafeteria and sit at lunchtime with the kids. But
Interesting.
We also have to be wise and understand what's going on. That there's even been a change in the board member meetings.
Really? Talk to me.
Yeah, instead of hosting it in the evenings. They were hosting it, during the daytime, closed sessions.
But most parents are working during the day.
Exactly. Exactly. Right. And so we had, parents and other officials who recognized that, and then they, eased it back in the evenings. But even now in the evenings, you're limited to what you can say, So if it's not on the agenda, once that agenda has been completed, if there's any more time left, then you take the scraps, basically.
Wow.
And who sets this agenda?
You have the board members.
The board members. I mean, like, could I know, like, for the city council and the county council, the president of those councils, so is there, maybe there's a head person in that board? I'm going to have to do a little research on that. But I had heard about the fact that it had moved to a time where, you know, the parents couldn't be there, but I couldn't see any reason why, unless there's something they didn't want the parents to know about.
Listen, there's a lot of issues that need to be, you know, tackled, you know. And, you know, me personally, you know, I would just love to see a fresh set of eyes and ears, you know, on the board. You know.
Interesting. We're going to be interviewing someone who may be one of those new eyes and ears on the board.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, everyone, we will be back, and we will bring it in Kenisha Lacole, who will be running for the school board. And these are some really interesting issues and really interesting points that you're bringing up here. I really believe that we do need to get more, and we're going to work here at Bridging the Gap to bring more school board members on, and I would love to have you two as the host during that, since you have a hands-on, you know, you see what's going on. Is there anything else you would like to add before we bring Kenisha on? No, one of you?
Oh, no, I'm good. Yeah.
All right, well, stay tuned. We're going to be bringing Kenisha Lacole on. Thank you. Okay, we're back, and we now have Kenisha Lacole. Kenisha?
Hey, Kenisha. Hey,
Yes, thanks for joining us. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
First and foremost, I'm a mom, and I'm really active in the community. I am on the YDAC committee for the City of Salisbury, which is the Youth Development Advisory Committee. I am also on the Truth Committee. I'm the vice chair, which is the Truth, Racial Unity, Transformation, and Healing Committee. I am a private contractor for a nonprofit, Menary Dream Alliance, and I work in the school systems with them, mentoring and doing peer support. I also am a private contractor for Healthport, and I do PRP programming for them. I'm doing mindfulness, and I'm just loving on the people. I'm a spiritual, holistic, loving person that just likes to be with the people.
Okay. And do you ever get time for yourself?
Yes, I have started to make time for myself and making it a point, so yes.
Okay, awesome. So what's the motivation behind you running for school board?
My motivation for running for school board is practically I'm a boots on the ground type of chick, and I'm just in the community with the students, the staff, the teachers, and I see their personal experiences, and I feel like I should be able to be that person to be a voice for them because I understand them and I'm relatable.
Okay. Actually, I know I've seen some of your Facebook posts. You are with the youth a lot.
I love my babies.
Oh, that's awesome. All right, now there's a lot of firsts in your decision to run. Can you name a couple of them?
Well, this is my first interview. This is also my first being actively political in anything. These are just new experiences for me with the whole political campaign thing, and I'm also the first one to file for running for Board of Education, and this is just all new for me and my children.
Okay. Well, it's good that you're not a politician.
No.
You know, when people they're used to doing this, that usually means that they went over to that next stage of politician. And as we were talking to Bishop and Pastor, they're kind of what we want to get away from. We want those that are boots on the ground, if you will. So that's awesome. By the way, my wife and I, we have some grandbabies. None of them in school yet, but we definitely are watching what happens with the school board, because you're the ones that can be going around and making sure things happen right and at the school board meetings.
Exactly, making sure they're not exposed to things they're not supposed to be exposed to.
Yeah, as we heard from Bishop Dickerson being over from the Christian shelter, the kids over there, they go in there and they get put under pressure a lot. Am I right, Bishop?
Yes, a lot of pressure. So one question I was asked, how would you ease the pressure for children that are under those type of attacks? Because, bullying, anxiety, depression. So, what would you recommend, or what was your plan of action to deal with those things?
I would say my plan of action would definitely be the mental health and safety aspect of that with our homeless youth. Being able to have more therapists and more specialists in the community, as well as the school system, so they have someone they can feel safe with. That's because school is their safe space, so they shouldn't have to come there and feel unsafe. And having someone there that they can speak to and listen to and confide in for their mental health purposes. More town halls for the community, so they would be able to express themselves would be perfect, I feel like, because they'd be able to make those, to be able to voice their opinions.
Yeah.
And I could bring that personally to the board itself as something different. It's not something that's you see done at all, where you bring the community's voice to a board meeting.
Awesome.
I like that. I like that a lot. Pastor Mitchell, being a school teacher, is anything you would like to ask her?
I mean, there's a lot of questions. Of course, we don't have enough time to do it. But I just am curious. Was it like one particular issue that said to you, "That's going to be the reason why I want to be on the board"?
No. I would say it was a variety of issues. Being in the school system, actually as a mentor myself, because I do Y Comical mentoring projects, so I am in the school system. I mentored over 30 kids last year.
Wow.
It was beautiful.
Wow.
Yes, it was beautiful. East Salisbury, Salisbury Middle, and Bennett High, as well as in Dorchester County. It was beautiful. So when it comes to that, there was not one thing that just made me say, hey, I need to do this, but I know that I love being a voice for the people, and I'm also one of those people that I can't keep talking and not doing anything about it. So the best thing to do is be someone who's relatable to the people in the community and be their voice for them as a collective.
Good answer. Good answer. Now, personal setbacks, how does that help you to become more of a leader?
I believe my personal setbacks just made me push harder for what I believe in, which is the community, which is the students and the teachers and the staff. So my personal setbacks made me realize that I just have to keep pushing forward. And as I said before, there's no need in me keep talking and not doing anything about it. So the setbacks told me, you know what, go ahead, it's okay.
Okay, that's good. That's good.
My motto is keep going, so I like that.
Yeah, that's definitely her motto. Let me ask you this. Should there be a concern with the books that are in the school libraries?
Yes. And I feel like that should just be like an age-appropriate thing. That's age-appropriate. So it just depends on the mental capacity of the children, and I feel like at certain points it should just be only in certain age groups or certain schools, and that way they can make their decision with their parents and family.
Now, do you think that the parents should be more involved in what books are actually in the libraries?
I feel like they should show up more so, or listen to the things that they send. Like every Sunday, I know we get a text, a voice call, and a email from the school system. So if they're paying attention to what's going on, if it's put in that particular setting, I feel like as long as we're paying attention, the teachers and the parents will have a voice.
Okay. Now let me ask you this, and anybody chime in here. Has our young people in the school system mental health been properly considered and dealt with? And that's a question for any of you. No?
No. I think my main concern when I say no is because I feel like being in the school system and mentoring these children, our children's behaviors are looked at more so than their abilities. So they're judged off of how they act versus off what they can actually do. And then they're categorized. So their mental health is, we don't know what's going on in the home, and we don't know what's going on in their particular community, or like I said, the school is their safe space. So we don't know what they're going through because we're not actively trying to see that. So no, I don't believe that their mental health is looked at as much.
Yeah, and I think the alternative school can shift. It could change, because you can't put a student in front of a computer who's hungry and expect them to learn. So I think they need to restructure the alternative school different. I think they ought to offer, and if they don't, maybe I can stand be corrected. Mental health. They need job readiness. They need understanding what a leader is, leadership, and then have the skills such as masonry, carpentry, and begin to develop their minds in that aspect. Because again, because everybody's not college material. Some people are hands-on. So I think and I think if they will institute those type of classes into alternative schools, or teaching those children how to be entrepreneurs, and so forth, it will definitely limit the amount of behavior. So I think if they would restructure the alternative school, that they will achieve the goals better.
Give them something to look forward
Right,
to.
exactly.
Because again,
Yep.
as Kenisha said, you don't know what their home life
Right.
is like. So their parents can be influencing them in a negative way. You just don't know. And therefore, they're mad at the world. Give them something that they can have joy about.
Yeah, and not just the restructured aspect from that point of view, but I mean, have you actually seen the alternative school structure, exterior design? It looks like a prison.
Wow.
Looks like a prison because the environment, and that's another issue. But I can't ask you all the questions. In the segment, but, that's a major issue that the board members currently are facing, is not enough funding to rebuild the schools. We've had teachers who have died of cancer because the schools are 100 years old.
Right.
Wow.
Wasn't aware of that.
So all of that, internally, externally, has a lot to, play in a child's learning behavior. Because I can speak for myself. If the atmosphere, there's no AC, there's no hot. I mean, I've been around since the old Bennett Middle when we had the chicken fans.
I thought they changed that after 40 years.
When there was no AC,
Wow.
and so there was no heat. Some of the classrooms. So these are the internal things that are ongoing issues. So, it definitely would, I would just urge you to, again, like I was sharing in the last segment, to really dig deep into these, issues.
The actual needs in the facilities, in the schools. So, because if a child isn't comfortable, how are they expected to learn properly and all of those issues?
I feel like that comes from relatability as well. So if you can't relate to the children, then how are you going to understand how to teach them? And that's also, like I said, being a boots on the ground. And we also, when we speak of mental health in the school system, we can't forget about our staff. Our staff have to deal with children who have passed away, their own home life. So they're trying to teach children who don't even understand their own personal mental health, what's going on. So you have a teacher who is trying to battle a child who has passed that they have taught, their own home life, their own children, their own second jobs, and we're not thinking about them either. So there's the mental health of the staff as well.
That's
so it's not just our children, it's the staff as well. So it's kind of hard. How do you expect a teacher to teach as well as they can and then be at their best when they have their own home lives as well and still dealing with the students' behavior and mental health that they're dealing with?
Yeah, they took the mental health days from us since the pandemic was over. We used to have when the pandemic was here, we had the Wednesday of every week was mental health day.
Really?
At this time. But once everybody got back to school, they threw that all that out the window. We've been asking for it, but they actually said never.
I feel like that's a very important thing because everybody deserves rest. Your brain deserves rest in order to progress. You cannot progress and teach the children appropriately, even as a teacher, if you have a lot of mental things going on where you need to digest throughout your day.
Well, that would be an issue that I would like for you to address.
Yes, definitely. Especially when you said that, I started thinking about, I've always said that about with law enforcement. I always said that sometimes, like, let's say after an officer, God forbid, sees their partner get shot, they need to have some time off. Not just go back to the next case, because what happens is they take that same feeling into the next situation and it doesn't end up right. So it's the same thing with teachers in a certain, like you just, I never thought of that, Kenisha. That's actually a really good point. It's a really good point. Wow. Well, thank you all for coming on. I just want to ask one last question. I want to leave it up to you. If you had 30 seconds to a minute to say what makes you head and shoulders above any other candidate, what would you say?
Point blank period, I'm me. And that's what you get. I'm me all the way around. I'm loving, I'm happy. I just love spreading positive vibes, and it's just what I feel like we should spread. I always tell people, I'm a firm believer that love is a frequency, not an emotion. So if we can spread love throughout our community and our school system, we would thrive.
Sounds good to me. Thank you all for coming on. This has been Bridging the Gap. We'll be talking to you soon.